The poll is once again active in the Twitch chat. Put your Twitch channel points on the line. And let's see who might win this. Knowing that NRG previously won the whole tournament poll with 39% of the votes, I'm pretty sure this is going to be incredibly one-sided.
So it's early pressure for version 1. Good start from them. But Squishy to relieve the pressure. Back in rotation. Ooh, double commit from Common Torment. Torment at least gets the follow-up challenge on Garrett G here. Back into the center. Another quick defensive maneuver here from version 1. Though Squishy, again, quick to restart. Backboard. And Com over to the side. He's going to follow this one up. Ooh, demo on Gimmick from Justin, who moves backwards. G, that's going to fall to Squishy. And here is Garrett again. Backboard. Torment, good read. And it swings and roundabouts currently Jam at the moment as it goes to the backboard again and straight back into the midfield. One pressure, followed by another spell of pressure, but that was by far and away the best move. Garrett G denied by Gimmick.
NRG started just a little bit slow, testing out Version 1 with slow attempts. Obviously, no pressure, no threat, but that shot, despite it being from a distance and to two waiting goalies, definitely made Version 1 defense sweat. Let's see what they can do in the attack.
Here's Garrett again. Oh, it's a slow one. Gimmick goes to the corner. Com here going to follow it up, trying to get it round Squishy, but no way through there. Torment up, trying to set up Gimmick there. Beautiful tee shot. Justin with the save. Here's Com again, infield. Garrett lofts it over Torment. And Gimmick there also back. Com taking out Squishy. The attack now a little bit one-sided, and Garrett forced to roll back in for some more boost. Here's Squishy. Again, easy read for Torment as Justin and Garrett G force back. Garrett stops it at the mid. Here's Torment again. Not going to follow up. Neither is Gimmick. Miscommunication and just completely misses the ball. Not really been touched for the longest amount of period in this game, I would say, honestly. Is Torment now back on the attack. Lovely challenge win. But again, easy dealt with, and the defense is holding strong for both sides currently.
Still at a 0-0, but it feels like the storm is just brewing, and we are seconds away from a breakthrough, a proper breakthrough. Not just one goal, but several going in. Obviously, it is NRG currently showing just a little bit more of offensive prowess, so to speak. And they definitely want this more. I do not see them really dropping the pressure. I can only see them increasing it from minute to minute.
NRG showing a lot of respect to version 1 here, that's for sure. Com taking out Justin, no respect there at all. Version 1 probably with the most gain out of this lineup, as here goes Com. Oh, round 1. And it sets up nicely for Torment, a little bit too wide in the end. Squishy up first though, and back into the midfield, still 0-0 passing half-time. Squishy infield again, but Garrett G forced back, as is Justin. Been quiet so far, Justin, apart from a couple of saves here and there. It's Torment. And now Squishy. Not much boost in that wagon though, and it's Comms to take. Torment towards net, looking for the double tap. Torment down! Torment scores! Version 1 go ahead!
The perfect kind of goal in this situation, perfect kind of shot in this situation as well. Brilliant control, brilliant touch, and in the end, just that bouncer makes everyone on the defense of NRG, Garrett and Justin alike, guess where that's gonna go. This goes against the tide of the game, I feel like. NRG, a little bit more threat, but then again, they were never really at the edge of something really tremendous and dramatic. For the most part, NRG was just lobbing the balls at Version. Version roughly doing the same, but this time, since they got a backboard control and got the touch, they're the ones to get the first goal.
Yeah, that Garrett G long shot, really the best opportunity for NRG so far, being very quiet in the final third, and this is where I'm going to give plenty of credit to version 1 here. I think that all of their offensive drives have looked a lot more dangerous actually over the course of the 3.5 minutes that we've played so far, and it has paid off with a lovely double tap goal from Torment. Here he is again, looking for the redirect, and he's closed down. Com back into the area, and that's going to be Justin's to deal with. Lovely pass off to Squishy, but again, little boost. Justin maybe looking for demos. It's Squishy on his own far post, and trying to squeeze it in far post was Justin. Forced back again. Here's Garrett G, top of the box. Again, Torment waiting on that backboard, but Gimmick gets there first. Justin going to be first to the scene now, though. Pops it up. Gimmick at least helps it on its way. And Torment, again, great defense. And there's Gimmick again, basically clearing out of his own defensive half. This is great defense and great offensive pressure from version 1. Looking like the better side for me, to be honest, Jam.
Honestly, I'm getting convinced quite quickly, both by the version 1 play and both by what you're saying, Arlie. It seems that version 1 right now have the players all in the right spots, and NRG just can't find that opening. Oh, Torment will have to make that save pretty quickly. but he has now the boost, has the positioning. Look at how quickly he immediately covers the backboard, knowing that his teammates aren't able to do so, and expecting that NRG most likely are going to put more pressure by putting the ball exactly where he is. He would not need it in the end, but the thoughtfulness of his rotation is on display.
It's very slow possession-based play here from NRG, and that was almost well, it was ending up a crucial mistake here. Look at this complete mistouch from Justin. Ends up going backwards, almost perfectly sets up Gimmick, but for a wonder save from Squishy. Com on the same wavelength, though, follows it up with a Shadow Strike, and that is Version 1's game 1.
I would love to see that touch from Justin, but in the other direction, alas, he signs the death sentence for NRG in the first game. Nothing to cry about just yet. This is a best of 5. There's still plenty of chances for NRG to do something. But the fact that Version 1 were able to keep NRG scoreless, I might be speaking too soon. These guys might just spring out a goal out of nowhere. Now I know for sure that this is a 2-0, and honestly, again, as I said, initially I thought, okay, NRG in a very equal battle seemed to have a slight upper hand, definitely. In Version 1, just shooting back and never really having a dangerous moment. But ever since that one long shot by Garaji, plus in addition to those final moments where Version still looked tremendous in the defense, NRG just couldn't show something. And that reflects with the 0 in the goal total for them. And that reflects in what Version has managed to do on the other side of the field.
Yeah, for me, it was all about the quality of chances. Of course, Version 1 ending up with less shots on target, true. But again, Justin never really got into the game, I didn't think, and really just compounded by that error at the end to basically sign their own defeat warrant, basically, at the end of game 1. I loved the patient possession-based style of NRG early game, but as the game went on, with Version 1 scoring, you would have thought that they would have picked up the pace, and it just seemed like they couldn't hang with Version 1, and that's great praise to them. I mean, they've come in, they looked warmed up, and they've rightly taken this game number 1 in a best of 5. Of course, we'll see whether NRG can bite back as we head to the Forbidden Temple in game number 2. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see more of the same from Version 1, though. They've got a lead. They've got a rare chance to get a victory over NRG here. They're not going to let that one spurn.
And as you said, the NRG were not looking as pacey. Justin had to be bumped over there because he was running free after the kickoff. But the fact is that NRG were not able to keep the pace, and honestly were not able to get started on that pace that they're really known for. Incredibly surprising for me. So here, well, Version 1 do not really need to change much. If everything stays the same, at least from NRG side, NRG really needs to pretty much throw everything, the baby with the bathwater, and start again.
Justin has to take control here, picks up the 100, and will carry this one out most likely, looking for help from Garrett G. Goes actually underneath Gimmick and continues to play. Squishy in support here as Torment puts it out to Squishy. Easy enough save for Com. And Torment relieves the pressure with a demo on Garrett. And now it's 2v1 for Justin. Com goes for the straight shot, and Justin makes the save that he needed to make. Squishy into the midfield. That's decent enough clearance. But here's Com with plenty of boost. He's bumped out the way, though. And a much necessary boost that was as well. Not necessary boost, a much needed bump that was, with much needed boost as well to be taken. Ultimately, it's another midfield scrap so far in game number 2. Who's going to get the breakthrough first?
We might be here for a long time. 2 players, though. Careful. Torment had no chance of making any kind of save. Thankfully, had Gimmick for him. And now they're all on the offense. Com going for bumps, with the ball going that high. This a bit non-successful for Version 1. You could see their plan, but it feels like at the end, the whole idea and the whole sequence of shots was just scuffed. And they ended up with nothing. Still a threat that continues on from previous game.
Justin falls back. He's got no boost. Com's got little to work with as well, but he's got infield passes, and Torment denied by Squishy. Gimmick looking to continue this drive. And Justin navigates his way around him at least. Here's Torment again, and Version 1 knocking on the door much more confidently than NRG. Squishy finally able to go out the door, gets in his car and moves on up. But again, it's all too easy right now for the Version 1 defense to work their way out of their own half. The pressure that comes with NRG is incredibly quick and then leaves just as quickly. Com looking for a nutty redirect. It's not going to connect.
Oh, my heart just skipped a beat the moment I saw Com going for that one. Well, he couldn't find it. Honestly, this is a show of intent for Version 1 against NRG. And they're intending to create something absolutely tremendous. Back to the midfield again, our league. It seems that NRG, yes, they're capable of batting away what Version1 is throwing at them. They're definitely not able to break down any more. Wow, with 2 players in, they still cannot make anything happening out of this. NRG, seemingly just right now, their plan is to turf.
Gimmick. That's a lovely ball into the box. Justin registering a save that was on target, would you believe? And Com taking out Squishy. This demo game working well. And again, too slow to react, our NRG. Garrett G bails them out, but here's Gimmick on the scene once again, round the corner. Should be easy enough for Squishy. Does so. Torment round the corner now. Here's Gimmick lurking far post, and Torment looking for a bump on Justin. These attacking plays so much more dangerous here from Version1. NRG still looking to be sleeping as Gimmick was looking for passes in field. There was none there. Torment's got a pass, so he sees Com. Com launches himself for it, and it's another save for NRG, another save for Garrett G. Squishy now going for the counter-attack, and there it is! Oh, it's lethal. Justin finally pops up. 90 seconds left. 1-0 NRG.
They finally find themselves a good passing play. Obviously, Squishy did pretty much the whole thing. He was the one to carry the ball, the distance of the field, what he needed to find the Justin, and Justin was there in such an advanced position that I'm surprised that NRG even had the time, the space, or the boost to get out of defense after they've been stuck in it for 3.5 minutes. But this is the first goal for NRG in the series, and most importantly, this could be the opener. Garrett G stopped them.
It's like a bucket of water has just been rinsed all over their face. Like all of a sudden, oh wait, hold on, we've got to attack, and we can score goals. That's the first goal that NRG has scored all series long, and it took them 9 minutes to do it. It's not a classic NRG performance, but you know what? It's at least a performance that with 60 seconds left of game number 2 is going to get them a point in the series. Or will it? There are still 60 seconds left to navigate, and in this game, all of you know all too well that that is more than enough time to change the scenery. Here's Squishy. Torment doesn't get a touch on it, and Squishy's able to run away all on his own. Squishy, it's Com up to the backboard. Gimmick out into the middle. Justin lying in wait, I should say. And Com able to rescue another goal from going in.
Maybe Justice is lying in wait as well.
Maybe.
Justice for Justin. Notice just how much better NRG is now looking. The stature, the disposition of the team has changed. We're finally seeing Justin and Squishy not only dribbling from their own half, getting some aerials going, but they're finally getting some space and going into the blue side as well. And it's working wonders for them. Finally, we're seeing the real deal, the setups for the highlight plays that we saw low from NRG. With the ball spending the last 5 seconds on the blue side of the field, and with a goal being scored by Squishy, of course. Who else but Squishy to put that nail? NRG are going to take the second game back, tie up the series, and start fighting.
The Muffins derby, and Squishy has been most prolific in this game. 1 crucial assist and 1 goal to wrap the game up. It almost feels like we're reading the same book but in the mirror universe, Jam. Team goes 1-0 up, looks pretty comfortable thereafter, and scores pretty much just a convincing goal at the end to make sure that the game is theirs. NRG does bite back. They do go 1-1 in the series, but it didn't feel convincing for me. Like, the first real sign of threat I got from NRG was that counter-attack from Squishy, which ultimately led to a Justin goal. After that, they looked a lot more comfortable. It was like the side had settled. But did it really need to take that long, Jam? I hope for version 1's sake that we are in a position where NRG are still going to be a little bit out of sync, a little bit out of gear, because if they are just starting to wake up now, and if they are continuing to go through the gears, that is a big old uh-oh party coming their way.
Well, as I was watching this game, the words of Version1 players, either Gimmick or Torment, forgive me for not remembering which one, they have been describing how they're playing against Team Envy when Team Envy is just pushing them for 2 minutes straight. And as they said, you just need to pray for 2 minutes straight that you're going to be saving every single thing over and over again. But I've just seen the same thing, but from Version doing it to NRG themselves. And that was a tremendous sight to see. Version1 just completely eliminating everything. It did not help in the end. But NRG at points looked incredibly locked in their own half, and this might once again get worse.
The shots per game for the entirety of the teams tells a very important story, I feel, to the overall narrative of this matchup. In the winter split, NRG have had 9.34 shots per game over the entirety of the team. Whereas if you look to version 1, they have 2 less. in the period of game. So version 1 know that based on previous form, they simply have to be clinical in this match because they know that NRG are going to create more chances, and they probably also know that that game number 2 was just a taste of what NRG can bring to the table. It is a very quick start. It's a double demo, and is there going to be a goal? No, Justin not able to make his way past Gimmick. Calm on the sidewall. He's going to hopefully pass infield. Actually just time wasting, and that a brilliant move for the rest of his team just to reset the rotation. Gimmick now on the other side of the field. Lovely infield pass for Torment, but Garrett G with the save. Is there a follow-up? No. Oh, it's from Torment again. And would you believe it? Com and Gimmick both can't score the goal that would have seen version 1 1-0 up.
Oh, it felt like they had like 3 angles in total to put something on target. They're still having, and Torment having the wisdom to give it back to his teammate, and then Gimmick's giving it back. They're really trying to squeeze out water out of the rock in this attack, and it's almost working. But they need just one to finish, and nobody can get it. There's player on the backboard, there's no touch player on the ground. Of course, is expecting that somebody on the backboard is going to get it, but Squishy just does not reach it. He is nowhere near that ball, and version 1 get a freebie. And
you can see Garrett G in the middle of the net there. He didn't have any boost in that tank of his, and so he's thinking, okay, I'm going to go up to the top of the net and I'm going to try and save from the top of you know, my own net, basically. It's a classic move that we see in RLCS now, but it didn't work. Either that, or he knew that he wouldn't have enough time. He stopped in there, and he was therefore useless to the defense. It's now a 1v1 for Squishy, and Gimmick susses him out so well. And a bit of fortuity there for Com in field. Who's going to shoot? The answer's no one, actually. Torment and Gimmick both choosing safety as the better part of Valor, and rightly so. It's back into the orange half through Torment. Taken out is Justin. Gimmick follows this up. Squishy's got no one to pass it to, but he's able to get enough on it for Com. Down to Gimmick, and it's another shot on target. Justin with the save. Here's Com again. Garrett G. Good. That was... He had another 50-50 mindset there. He chose correctly this time. Is he going to get a shot on target? He is, but it's, again, a nice enough save for Gimmick. And once again, version 1 riding these waves super well. Not only that, but creating so many good chances. It's, again, another role reversal in this series.
Well, folks, we expected a great series. We just did not expect it being as great and as close. Version 1 once again in the attack and trying everything. Their demo plays are opening vast fields of opportunities for them. Com pretty much has spent majority of this series on his attacking rotations, looking for someone, and now Gimmick doing the same. Do they have a finisher? They do. Torment is himself on the board a second. I suppose he was on the board before that, but look at this. They overload NRG, and no matter how great Garrett, Justin, or Squishy are, you cannot continue saving on attacks like that.
That was c'est magnifique. I was going to say it is, and I realized that my French had gotten messed up. Basically, Com, that was really nutty. Please do more of that. That was wonderful. Opening up basically a free pass into the net for Torment. Double commits abound for NRG. And again, 2-0 down, and Garrett G now reduced to basically trying to doink it towards the blue net just to get some clearance for themselves. It's another demo from Gimmick onto Justin. And version 1 ruling the roost right now. Com in field. Gimmick there, so close. Oh, and this might go all the way. Wow, Torment with a last-ditch save off the line to prevent a freak goal for the goal that NRG are desperate for.
This was not the first pinch that has been in this game. Gimmick gets a perfect pass. So both teams are already pretty well aware that sometimes one freak accident can get you in the back like a dagger. This time nobody was hurt. NRG would love to get anything, a free goal, an easy goal, anything. But it's just not working, especially since many of their chances are just being cut off. This is a perfect idea. Nobody was in their way. Nobody was contesting that pinch, and yet it didn't even reach the net.
It's best case scenario for version 1. Is it about to get better? Yes, it is! Com with the shot from downtown. You read right, folks. 3-0 version 1.
From bad to worse to NRG, they all were thinking, yes, this is easy. We're getting that ball in the corner, returning it back to the center. It's gonna stay in the blue half. No, it didn't. Not by much. Torment now part of 3 goals in this game and continuing to rack more points for himself. Justin, Garrett G, Squishy, nope, they just do not care. Or will they? They might in a second. But a great defensive line, a wall of defenders, keeps Version's 1 net empty.
The gonads on Com, by the way. just casually waiting out Garrett G, letting him commit to a challenge and completely missing the ball. Here he is again. He's going to be incensed by that, surely. But again, so easy for the Version 1 defense. It's Torment near post, and it's Com and Gimmick combining to make it 4.
Wow, I was expecting already a miracle on the first touch. It seemed like, yep, I would say Torment had Justin beat. It wasn't an immediate goal. But the moment Justin cannot do a definitive touch on that save, all hell breaks loose. And with Version 1 so eager to get more on board, of course we're going to see yet another goal. NRG, you need more water? We can splash some more water in your face because it's too late to wake up. Right now it's time to act. 4-0, you might see pretty rare occasion of Version 1 getting a win over NRG.
No F-150s here on the field, of course. A reminder that this broadcast driven to you by Ford. And what a driven performance this has been from Version 1. It was a bit of a strange game 1 where NRG looked asleep. It was a bit of a strange game 2 where they looked to finally wake up, but turns out that they didn't wake up at all. Is this one division? Because, well, they look stuck in a nightmare. It's 4-0. Is it going to be 5? There's one for the road.
Oh my goodness. Arlake, obviously this is now a match point for Version 1. I've just taken a glance at the bracket. Sonics are on a match point versus Team Envy. It seems like the boldest, the craziest predictions of folks all over the place, including some of our good colleagues in the backstages. Those predictions might indeed happen, and NRG might indeed at some point meet Team Envy in the lower bracket. So early. I cannot believe it, but numbers right now don't lie, but obviously there's still time for turnaround, both for NRG and Team Envy. But this is just ultimate destruction. Version 1 has not left a single brick standing on NRG, and just like NRG started looking better and better the moment they started getting goals, Version 1 started at the top of a hill, and by the time they reached the bottom of the hill, it was an avalanche of huge proportions. And the only one who was able to really stand by that was Squishy, their previous teammate.
It's not to say that the shots from NRG were necessarily bad or anything. It's just the Version 1 defense was good enough to deal with it. And you look over the other side, and the story that we thought that we were going to be telling, where NRG would have more shots on net, the story that I was alluding to, the pages have been ripped up, they've been thrown into a fire because there were 15 shots from Version 1 and NRG didn't even manage to get 10. This is a huge opportunity for Version 1. We cannot state this enough. In their recent record, it's 4-1. This is monumental for Version 1. We were talking about at the very top of this series, is this finally going to be the tournament where Version 1 get back to their best? The potential that we know that they can reach. Is Com the secret element to this formula that can make this team tick well? On early impressions, the answer is yes. Com are huge in game number 3, but Jam, we've seen this play out many times before, haven't we? A team that's on 2 points, a team that's happy and ready to go and close out the series early, and then it all goes to pot. If that shot was a little bit more to the left, we'd be talking about 1-0 NRG already.
Version 1 fans, send your team some energy. They desperately need it. Yes, they're in the lead in the series. Yes, they were looking tremendous in that previous match. But NRG, right now, are going to fight some secret reserves, I'm pretty sure. Most importantly, I'm currently looking for Justin to just start going ham. He quite often has this mentality, I'm going to do everything on my own. The thing is, he can't do everything on his own, so we might see performance extraordinaire from Justin Credible himself.
I realized I said that it was going a little, or it should have gone a little bit more left. What I meant was he should have shot it a little bit more from the left to go a bit more right. Deary me. I've got to learn my directions, Jam. You know, I'm 26 years old now. Got to learn my directions, otherwise I'm never going to get my license. Justin in field got plenty of license to shoot, as has Squishy Muffins, as just Justin again. They are not going to get through Torment, one of the most experienced defensive-minded players in the game. He's already shown his offensive muscles today, and here's Com now, the most offensive of them all in this series so far for Version 1. Torment going in field, looking for near post, and Garrett G forcing to the save. It's Squishy again. And it feels to me at the moment, Jam, that NRG's biggest threats are coming from Squishy counterattacks effectively, which is so unlike this team.
Yeah, most of the power we've seen from them is when two of the players of NRG finally connected. Not just a counterattack by one of them, not just a dump, because every single clear that NRG have found or were forced to make was always immediately countered or gathered up by version 1, and the ball was just kept on being sent back to your own side of the field. Why not slow down just for a second? You know that the whole of version 1 team is back in their defense. They're gonna take your ball and just send it back to you. Why not just slow it down? Just like GaRG just did. He only needed to wait, and bam, an opportunity presented itself.
Garrett has moved over to the Fennec, it should be noted. Not that a card change can always do the world of good, but with a Fennec at least, you know you're going to be getting more power on those shots with a little less of the work. Comno looking for a light touch in field. It finds Gimmick, and Garrett G there to make another save. Still dangerous here. Version 1 in field. Gimmick! Oh, it's off the post, and Com shoots wide the other side.
Com was lucky to even be in that situation, but most importantly, on that initial play, he stole the boost from NRG as well, which gave absolutely nothing for NRG to work with, and they still have nothing to work with. Again, that boost was taken. Justin misses.
Oh,
this is off the post and out. Crossbar one way or the other. They still cannot find it. Only with the help of Torment. Crossbar again, and NRG playing, squishing it past. Wasn't it squishy, by the way? Just by any chance, was he the one to squish it against the crossbar? No, it wasn't. Well, that chance goes begging.
If you slip a letter underneath the door, you can slip a ball underneath the crossbar. That was wonderful placement from Torment. Rightly said, no touch required from an NRG player. That was just brilliant. And version 1's performance has been brilliant. They're on Utopia Coliseum right now. Are they going to be feeling euphoria in this Utopia at the end of the next 90 seconds? NRG are in survival mode right now. But the worst bit of news for them and for their fans right now, Jam, at least from my perspective as an analyst, as a caster, is I don't see much hope. The only hope that they do have is almost like their name value and how good we know they can be.
Justin right now, I feel like, is going into attack with nothing. He just throws a body to beat him.
No.
Squishy! Out of nowhere. I was watching Justin all this time trying to figure out what his game plan is going to be, but all of his game plan was, even with zero boost, is to set up such a great pinch off the wall for Squishy. That is a perfect pass. That is a perfect finisher. I feel like version 1 was also looking in the wrong place as I was.
Com was completely out of boost. Completely out of boost. He had nowhere to go but to the top of the box. It was that same decision that Garrett G had last game. But this time he committed to it and he was too slow. And NRG offered a lifeline here in game number 4. Out of nothing. And it all came through the man of the moment, Squishy. What's going to be going through his mind right now on the precipice of a loss to version 1? Gimmick, infield, Com connects, and a big save from Justin. Squishy to break out from the back. Demo onto Gimmick from Garrett G. It's Justin on his own and Garrett looking for demos and bumps, but it's Com who makes the save, and Torment looking to navigate his way out of his half. It's another demo onto Gimmick from Garrett G, but Torment with a lovely flick over. It's 1v1 for Torment. It's round the corner and he's not going to beat out Justin. Here's Gimmick, top of the box, down to the backboard, but Squishy again, able to make his way into the blue half on his own, not with much support. He wins a 50 on his own, but it's left to Torment. Are we going to be going to overtime in game number 4? Well, we might do. Last chance for NRG. Garrett G in field, but no one willing to commit. Here's Justin, another chance, but Com spikes it to the bottom of the box, and we are in overtime. NRG on the back foot.
One goal can send NRG down to the lower bracket, a place that they rarely find themselves. But just one goal from version 1 can make it a reality. Obviously, both of the teams, teeth bared, face, I would say just bloodied by this point. This has been a real fight. And it feels like NRG have finally figured out to wait, first of all, to get into the blue side of the field, and at the same time, second, I decided to give Com a second. He almost did not disappoint. But NRG not only found their way into the blue side of the field, but also found a way how to keep the possession, and most importantly, be a threat by making pauses, making stops. So many openings were created for them just by the fact that somebody has stopped and thought about what the next move is going to be, or let the player on the version 1 get a first touch, get a first move. This has helped NRG tremendously.
And they are looking the more likely to score in overtime, although version 1 would be quite happy to soak up the pressure for now. Version 1, of course, lying on match point if you've just joined us. Squishy. Left to Gimmick. Com lurking. Justin misses. Garrett bumped, but able to find the touch at least. Still lurking, all three players of the blue team. Garrett to the backboard. Is there a follow-up? Yes! Oh, and Squishy, it's that man again! We go to game 5, and it's beautiful placement from the man of the moment.
Garrett G was fighting with Gimmick, and that little boost battle, just rotation battle in the corner, has distracted everyone from the exact enemy. That enemy was Squishy following the play back. Again, bravo to Garrett G to even set up that pass in the first place. NRG find themselves a good opening in a counterattack and make this into a game 5. Because of course they do. Because of course this needs to be excited. Now, the only thing that's missing is for Justin to go ballistic. For Justin to be a 3-0, a hat trick in the first minute kind of person. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes out right now when his team needs him the most.
Jam, it goes back to that game 2 breakdown that we had for me. The fact of the matter is that both Justin and Garrett G have been pretty quiet throughout the entirety of the series. They've been there, of course, they provided assists for both of the Squishy goals, but I look at the NRG effort right now, and it's all Squishy. He's the one breaking out from the back, he's the one making the assists, or he's the one scoring the goals. If Justin and Garrett G lift themselves to the level which we know they're capable of, then Version 1 should be very scared. But Version 1 was scared after game 2, potentially, and they were able to just completely wipe the floor with NRG in that game. We go to Champions Field, we go to game 5, and if the nerves have ever been higher for Version 1, then, well, here we are. Here's a great scenario for you. You could beat NRG, but you've got to do it in the next 5 minutes, plus potential added time. Version 1 versus NRG. Let's hear who you think will win in chat. Personally, I'm not entirely sure, because on the basis of gameplay, surely Version 1 the favourites. On the basis of, well, the paper that we get our stats from, surely NRG.
I think NRG and their stats were important at the start of the series, but by this point it lives in its own little vacuum. So how it has been happening, honestly, there is still not an insignificant chance for Version 1 to take this in the end. And thankfully, both majority of the players right now on the field are incredibly used to this Champions Field scenario. Some of them, of course, including the most scariest of the places, the grand finals on lands. Again, Justin comes to mind with Season 5 and his land and tricks. He lost in the end. He definitely has learned from before that. Right now, he's just being angry somewhere on the ground, not helping him, not helping his team. But Version 1 is holding on.
Oh,
for
there
the
he
last
is again.
strength. You can see there's players were just out of it. 1 down, 2 down. They were dragged from one side of the field to the other, and eventually NRG just had to find that up.
Lovely pass. Direct pass from Garrett G. And Squishy does what Squishy does best. He makes a bad situation look like a very good situation, and Version 1 are going to be hurting after that. They're going to have to show some real mettle. And Torment there winning not 1, not 2, but 3 challenges, and straight back at ya, says Com. 1-1.
Okay, to beat 3... Well, to beat just 1, Garrett G, I think, was the first one. Then to beat Justin in quick succession. Torment didn't even stop to think, he immediately acted. And then to set up his teammates past the last one. Tremendous play. This is what Version 1 needs right now. A jack out of the box kind of play that puts them back in even footing.
And got to give a lot of credit to Com. That was a high pressure situation. We've seen many a player shoot that one wide, and he managed to hold his nerve. And talking of nerves, what about NRG now? What about NRG now? Gimmick's on his own. It's 1v1 versus Squishy. No, it all gets a little bit complicated. And it's back to Torment at square one. Back into the midfield. Garrett G's going to pick this one up. Gimmick's going to challenge. Gimmick's going to win the challenge. And Torment's going to be pushed forward out the way. Good play. Good off-the-ball play from Squishy there to ensure that there was no shot to be had. Squishy winning another challenge. And Com there with no boost. He's now got a boost steal in front of him as well via Squishy Muffins. Here he is on the scene again. Round the corner. Com's going to defend well. And he's just going to wait and allow his team to reset into the midfield. It's rather so-so from Justin as Torment moves forward now. Dangerous. And Squishy into the midfield. Gimmick forced back. Com forced back. And this is going to fall to Garrett G. It is. Looking for a nutty reset with Squishy. And again, Version 1's defense holds.
Everyone from version 1 immediately moving on to the attack. They know the risks. One missed touch and NRG are right there to collect on any place. And look at that, the defense wide open. Come, the only player remaining. He's already getting bumped out, getting out-pressured. And just trying to shadow Garrett G, but Garrett G removes the last obstacle for NRG.
Oh, that was the wrong decision. It's all too easy to be suckered in and to commit to a challenge earlier than you need to, but Con was all on his own. He needed to make that challenge for his team. Garrett G there winning a 50-50 and on a plate then for Squishy, back to NRG in the driver's seat. Garrett looking for the flick up over Gimmick. And it's Garrett through again, a real nuisance. Garrett G, we were talking about Garrett and Justin coming alive, and well, Garrett, at least for the most part, is, and there's Justin. 50 win in the air, and daylight for NRG in Game 5.
Brilliantly done by Garrett on the initial play. Justin's touch, perfectly read, well positioned, but it was Garrett G who held up all 3 players of version 1 for solid 15 seconds, while the rest of his team managed to go back, refill on boost, return back again, and continue the pressure. One-man show, and this could have been a great pass, but nobody from version 1 found it. Brilliantly done. That puts him about 2.
It's Justin again, demo, and it's off target. Oh, Justin, head in hands moment. Unfortunately for him, that would have probably been Game 5 signed, sealed, and delivered. It still is going to be Game 5 signed, sealed, and delivered. Garrett G on target. Beautiful cherry pick. It might not be all over for version 1 if they can get a quick goal back, perhaps, Jam, but it looks like it's all unraveling for the team in blue.
How quickly the tides change. Just a moment ago, we've seen version 1 and thinking, yes, this is working quite well for them. But now down by 3. And honestly, things are not looking on the up and up for them by no means. It's NRG finally getting open looks, the openest looks they've had so far, and constantly converting on them, while it's version 1 now who cannot keep up with the pace with NRG, cannot find the right spots to play against them, who's just having an open season.
Version 1 have to proverbially basically reach inside the letterbox now and bring it back out again and say, no, we got the wrong address here. But with just 65 seconds left on the clock, that is a very, very tall order to get 3. Squishy trying to disrupt the play. He wins another challenge over Torment. And look at Garrett looking for these crazy redirects from the halfway line now. The confidence has been renewed for NRG, and it's going to take a monumental effort to get even 1 back now for version 1. 45 seconds time, such a cruel mistress in this scenario for NRG. They say that champions often have to win games the dirty way. Well, they have not been at their best in this series, NRG, yet they are still looking at a progression in the upper bracket.
Speaking of dirty plays, there comes another demo. NRG do not need more. But by this point, the way that they're playing, it's dominant, it's real. Momentum and the whole control of the game is with them right now, no doubts about that. And for version 1 to break this down in any way, with the time remaining, with the way this game has, with the way this game's back has been broken, there's no way for version 1 to do anything, despite how well this looked, despite the hopefuls and heads hung in horror, where previously NRG battled back and show that they're the champions through and through, because right here on Champions Field, they get 1 back over version 1. Do not let them do the upset.
It is 2 sets of passionate fans in chat, but when push comes to shove, you know, when we get to Game 5 and all the marbles are on the table, that's when you